one of the things that I was looking at the Auditor General's report, and actually the Western Cape spends quite a lot of money in townships, contrary to popular belief. Somehow that message is not coming through.
Yeah, again, I mean, so politics is always about perception, and that's our job as a political party and as political parties to convince people. But the reality is the city of Cape Town spends 78% of its budget on poor communities and or developing communities, underdeveloped communities. And the same, there's 75% I think is of the Western Cape government. And that's the reality. Yeah. But the other unfair comparison that we seem to forget about is that whether it's Nyanga, Khayelitsha, or Kukulethu, we seem to think that those are the only 3 townships in South Africa. And we forget that we have Tembisa and Alex and Umlazi and KwaMashu and wherever it might be. And if you go and compare what is happening in those township areas, which are things that didn't start, now. They are historic. They're from, we've inherited new governments, whether it's ANC or DA, have inherited those from apartheid. So when you compare, of course, Khayelitsha is not going to be like Camps Bay. Umlazi is not going to be like Umhlanga. Sandton is not going to be like Alex. But what you need to make sure is a couple of things. One, that there's constant movement forward in terms of development. And when I talk about development, I'm talking about what local government is supposed to do. Is there water and sanitation? Are the roads maintained? Is there electricity? All of those sorts of things. And that's the focus of local government, right? Is to make sure that the basics are done right. The second thing that we have to look at when comparing all these areas is to say, well, what is the human development side of it? What are we doing around healthcare? What are you doing around education? What are we doing around social services, parks, whatever those, recreational facilities? And when you go to Umlazi, I'm speaking now from home. Sure. You go to Prince Mshiyeni Hospital. You go there to die. It's a mortuary. Sure. Then you go to Khayelitsha, and the DA-led Western Cape has built a brand new facility there that is world class. When you go to KwaMashu, the Go Durban system that has had billions of rands spent on it was supposed to have been opened 6 years ago, I think it was now. It's still standing unopened. But you go to Khayelitsha, and there are buses, public transport provided by the city, that you can get on at a less rate than taxis.
But then how are you going to make sure that for KZN you get the outright majority that you have in the Western Cape? KZN is quite competitive, and if you throw in the emergence of MK Party, it makes it maybe it's an advantage for you because then they split the votes on the left, and I suppose on the center and center right, you that space is still uncontested there. What is the plan? Are you banking on the multi-party charter to co-govern, or do you think that you'll be able to get an outright majority in KZN?
So no one's going to get an outright majority in KZN. Any political party that says they are delusional, then they don't understand the political space that they're working in. So where KZN is heading to a space where there will be a coalition government. What that looks like, obviously the results must determine. So